Yes, your boy DJ Easy.
And Dogface, we in the building.
Yes, Dad Talk, Shh Dad Talk TV, all that good stuff, man. We have multiple names that we still have not solidified, but we are here on a beautiful, beautiful morning on the way to work, chilling, figuring things out as
Yep.
human beings, dads, and all that good shit. Okay? Bro, I got a question for you. Always got a question for you.
Yeah, you always have a
I
question.
feel like I always got a question for you, man.
And you always agree with me too. I don't know why.
Nah, I do not always agree with you, bro.
That's true. You've been agreeing with me too much a little bit.
My perspective is very similar to your perspective. However, you do have we have some differences in how we see things. That kind of gives us this idea that we can really like have these great conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And not argue, right?
If we do argue, it's productive argument.
Exactly. It's like a real actual it's our perspectives are not super polar opposite to a point where we are at each other necks, which makes this thing work, right? But yeah, man, my question to you, dude, is listen, I think all dads are new dads if they just had kid. They may be two in, but I think once you get to having kids when they're like in their 20s and 30s, I think you have a better understanding of having kids because you've seen them grow up to be adults, right? So again, I think I'm a new dad. I still consider myself a new dad. I mean, you're right out the plastic, brother. You rip you out the plastic, bro. You are brand new. Okay, me as well. And my question to you is like, do you find yourself reaching out to different people or different dads to have these conversations about being a dad? Do have people reached out to you? Have you researched? You know what I'm saying? Like, what have you done to prepare yourself to be a dad, and what have you done once you become a dad? And she's actually here and out of the womb to continue to learn, if you have learned from other people who are dads, right? Outside of dad talk, of course.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's a good question. So what did I do to prepare? So one, I guess preparing to be a father and was very stronger support system for my wife while she was in the process. Yeah. So that meant being proactive. I told my wife I wanted to be a part of these conversations. I didn't want you to have these conversations with your female friends or your close friends. Yep. I want conversations to know, but like, hey, what do you think about the whole process of birth and like, oh, what would happen if a situation arrives? I want those conversations first to happen with us. Yeah. You then can have the conversations with those people, but we are at the table together. We are bringing information, sharing with things to each other at the table. And so researching, my wife did a great at researching, sending me information all the time. She'd be like, oh, I just read this article, or here, this video, look at it. And I'd be like, thank you, listening to it. I also told her I wanted to go take infant care class. If you don't do it, like I feel like it's an essential. And I said that before. Infant care class, you might be experienced, but it's the simple, small little things that they show you. But it's also like you and your partner now are there for the first time, having to coordinate and work together. Yeah. On a task that's going to continue to grow and continue to build. Yep. And although that little infant that they, a fake mannequin infant that they're giving you is not moving, it shows you like, hey, who's going to do what? Who's going to wipe? Who's going to change? Who's going to put the clothes on? Yeah. Who's going to get the diapers? All that type of stuff. Yep. And those are little simple things. It's like, hey, you know your role. And those roles switch depending on the mood. Like, all right, I got this time. You do it this time. But I would say shout out to the doula that my wife found, Hands of Melody, which was phenomenal. And the network of moms and dads that they have.
Hit me a little bit. Let the sun hit me a little bit.
The moms and dads that they have.
Boy, oh boy.
So finding and looking for men, I felt like I've had men and fathers in my life that have experience in the game. But I mean, like, they're experiencing the game. They now consultants. They sitting with their children having, real philosophical conversations because they're older. Yeah. Versus new young men or fathers that are right in the game that are contributing. There's a difference. I'm gonna put it out there. There's a difference between men and fathers that are contributing and then that are not.
Yep.
And so I'm talking about the ones that are contributing, that are willing to be in the lives. And so for me, I've been gravitating to circling myself around those people, orbiting around them and they orbit around me.
Word,
Um,
man. So you've developed a safe space or a community of dads that kind of you kind of pull different information from.
yes.
Perfect, man. No, that's dope. I really do. And I know that you mentioned the women who have contributed, right, to
Mm.
kind of help prepare you the material from your what your now wife, uh, and whatnot, which is great. 100%. My doula was definitely helped me out. My partner also helped me out. It was a million Instagram posts that were pertaining to being a dad and being a new parent, to books, to articles. Man, I was getting it all. Okay, and I'm not. I wasn't. How can I say it? I wasn't. It's not like I didn't want that, right?
Mm.
It was more the idea that it was, it was coming at me fast, but that also meant that being a dad was coming at me fast too, right? So it was like more of a preparation, from those articles that kind of just gave me an idea of how fast things can actually come to you and how different and the variety of what it means to be a dad, and preparation and things like that can be different from different sources, right? So
Right,
like,
right.
so outside of articles, man, that's why I was super interested in, like, if you had any dads around you that kind of set you down, was like, yo, dude, like, um, everything's going to be different for you, obviously, and it's going to be different from what I've experienced. But these are some of the things that are common that I've seen as a dad. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because there's so many people, right? Even new parents, they're so quick, or older parents, they're so quick to tell you what to do, what to expect, but they don't outline the fact that there's no manual to it. I've said this a billion times, right? There's no manual to it, but there are some common threads that you may experience,
Right.
right? And anytime I talk to you about it, or if I talk to any other dad about it, I'll be like, yo, dude, like, and I'm gonna tell you this too, right? Dad talk is all about having guys come together who are dads and having these conversations, because I do feel like this is a source for, this will be a source, and this is a source for dads to kind of look at and be like, yo, this, I can get some advice from this. I can take some common themes that I've experienced and see if they've experienced it, or they may be preparing to be a dad, and kind of get some advice from us and
Yeah.
whoever we have on the show. So it's really, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, is because I didn't have that. You know, I definitely appreciate the source of information that I was getting from my partner, and whatnot, which was great. But I've been raised by women, right, hands down, right,
Yeah.
and I don't have a father figure, um, like that I can actually talk to and be like, yo, dad, like, how was I growing up? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have that.
Yeah.
And there's no gripe to my dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? We have our relationship, but it's more the idea of like, I I haven't there's no guy someone that reached out to me and was like, come here, dude, you're about to be a new dad. I'm already a dad. Let's talk about it.
Mhm.
Right. And so that's why I'm super, super interested in if you had that, because I want to be that for guys who are going to be new dads, old dads, or whoever.
Well, what's I do understand, and what's amazing is like when a mom is getting ready, when my wife was getting ready, right? She the nesting is really something crazy and beautiful at the same time. But the
Absolutely.
nesting is like she's bringing in all the resources around her, right? And part of the resources was me bringing in is like, hey, how this person's going to be a part, like, and I'm a resource and a partner in it, so I understand my role. But
Absolutely.
I could say from part of it, she helped, along with like the men's group that I've been a part of, to bring something and nurture it together
Yeah.
to help with the situation. Um, and what I just realized in some of these, what I realized in meeting other men or some of the friends that have become fathers over the years, they are genuinely just opening to express some of the simple but basic information that can be life changing or a little bit easier for you, for myself, in the process of becoming a father, becoming a husband, becoming better,
Yeah.
doing better. And, the simple enough things, it's like, even for me, like, I don't understand, like, the level of patience or understanding. I know, like, I have nieces and nephews I help raise,
Yep.
but there's another level that you just step out and beyond for your child and understanding. My daughter just spit up on me this morning, and I was like, "Oh, what's this hot? Okay, let me wipe it off. You
Yeah.
okay, babe? All right,
Yeah.
let's keep going. Let's keep playing."
Yeah, man. Like,
Um, it just makes you show a level of appreciation. But I would say a lot of the people, a lot of the men, is just like, I feel like a sincereness of them sharing information. It's not unsolicited
yeah,
what you
man.
get, but a genuine sharing, and but it's also focusing on, like, hey, remember, you have a wife. You need to take care of her as much as you do son or your daughter. Make sure you take care of that.
Yeah.
Um,
That much is true, man.
and that's been helpful. Like, some of the information where, like, one person told me, like, even men that they have grown daughters, they're divorced or separated, like, hey, the bond between you and your wife, there's a reason why it's called a wedding ring, right? And that wedding ring is to protect you and your wife, and now your child or anybody else, from any harm. You don't want it, friends or family alike, be like, hey, you cannot break this bond that we have between my
Yeah.
wife and I,
Yeah.
and you need to make sure you keep growing it, both ends. And that,
Yeah.
that was something that I understand and really appreciate.
Hell yeah, man. I'm into it because honestly, that like I feel like I have I feel like I have a lot to share. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a new dad, brand new dad. You're a brand new dad, and like I still feel like there is there's a lot to share about my experience that I can push out to the world or to any of my friends who are about to be dads that can really like
Yeah.
gravitate toward it. You know what I'm saying? Because there isn't a lot of like groups or like any like there's dad groups out there, but you got to really go searching for them. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I've
And
been a part of a dad group before, or a men's group, I should say, and I think it's dope to have that community around dads that seem to be taboo. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really wanted to be like a cool spot where people can really just come together and be like, yo, listen, dude, I just got thrown up on for the first time with my daughter. Like that shit was crazy. Or like my kid won't do this. How do I like? What do you think? What do you think could contribute to fixing that, rather than just going straight to the research? You can do your research, obviously, but wouldn't it be cool to have a group too?
right,
You know.
right.
So that's why I was super interested in like if you had anything, because I feel like a lot of dads, and including myself, I can actually speak for just myself. I didn't have that resource like that, and yeah, I could have reached out to people and could have done my due diligence and make connections with dads that I currently know, but at the same time, I was busy being and preparing to be a dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like, is there even room for me to do that? But if there's room for you to pick up your phone and look up Dad Talk and you can listen to it, that can be a possible resource for you.
You know, um, so in a sense, I did reach out and talk to people. So for me, it's just asking questions, and sometimes it was not like asking, like, "Hey, how to be a father." It
Yeah,
was more just like it was sometimes just asking, like, hey, what should I do to prepare? Like, I'm thinking this idea. Like, for me,
yeah,
example, I want to put some money. My wife is going to do in 6 months, or 6 months. What should I do? Well, you have some money in the bank. What do you mean? Like, you should have some money saved aside. Put aside, because for all the, what if you don't get no help or support from your family or friends for baby shower or anything like that?
yeah,
Can you provide? Because
yeah,
that's what she's going to look to. Certain things like that. Well, all right, once the baby's born, what are you going to do? Like, do you have a life insurance policy or something?
yeah, yeah.
Do you have a trust fund or any type of fund that you want to set aside to help growing
Yeah,
for your son or your daughter?
any of
And
that. any
Right.
of that.
And sometimes people be like, "Oh, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't have nothing for my parents didn't do that for me." Well, congratulations. Most of us didn't have that either.
Yeah,
But
it's
are you going
true.
to continue that cycle, or you want to do better?
Hell yeah, absolutely. Not hell yeah to to not continue the cycle. I'm
Right.
talking about hell yeah to, I'm sorry, not to continue the cycle, but to really get after it and change that. You know what I mean? And sometimes that could come from somebody who you don't even know, right?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some things that you could, even some of the things you've told me, I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like, so it's just the idea of like, and do not get it twisted. Like, I know a bunch of dads and they're great dads. What I'm trying to tell you is that uh, I think great dads should come together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And support um, each other, especially if they're friends. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And if they're close.
Yeah. Right
Um,
now, it's like as a father, you have to be understanding your decisions are with a purpose that will be seen in 20, 30 years when your child is looking back at this.
Yeah, yep.
And
Every decision you make, man. And I'm not trying to say it's pressure or anything like that, but just think of
but it
like
will be evaluated.
it is evaluate it, and it just has this idea. It has an impact, no matter how you cut it. You decide to stay an hour late to work at work, and it already takes you an hour to get home. Guess what? Now that's 2 hours added onto the day that you could have been helping out at the house.
Right,
That's
right.
impactful to your partner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I now have a better understanding of that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't before. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh shit, that actually makes sense. There you go.
You
That's a
know,
gym. You know what I'm saying?
as we're growing up in different generation of workers and the work ethic and so forth like that, and just realizing. So one time I was at a job, and my supervisor and manager said, I'm a career person. I don't expect to get paid for my overtime. And kind of goes to this: the
What?
amount of time you put in your job is the amount of time that you don't have extra with your child. And
Facts.
and so he's like, I don't expect to get paid for my overtime. I'm a career professional. And I looked at him and was like, so I'm saying to myself, so you're gonna put in X amount of hours at a job that will fire you
Yeah.
whenever they want,
Yep.
right? You're not getting compensated for it, but you're not compensating your family
Yeah.
because you're not there.
Yep.
What sense does that make?
Sounds like a guy I want to hire. No, I'm joking. Who don't want to get paid to work more? Like
right.
what?
So, and I have to say,
Come
like,
on over.
no. I'd rather be like, yeah, listen, this is my 40 hours. I'm out.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow. I'll pick that task up.
Yes, sir.
Nah, I'm refusing to get compensated, because at the end of the day, your shareholders, your CEO, at the end of the day, you're making money. Regardless of my extra hours or not, and you're not contributing back equally, I'm good.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna go
that's
take
not
care of
fair.
my family.
Yeah, that's not
So,
fair, man. Oh.
but so to that is understanding, but also, I think I was telling you, um, understanding wives. You have to be wives. Husbands have to be husbands. But you need to create peace in the house.
Yeah, man.
No one wants to come home and not have peace in the house.
Absolutely.
And truly, you as the male, the husband, provider, if you are causing issues in the house, take the time to get the help that you need. It's
Absolutely.
not being weak, it's being stronger, because that's going to help your family continue to build.
Yep.
But create and have the peace in your house.
If you're not getting, and this is coming from a place of like really understanding and have a better understanding of what peace and feels like, right? Because I've experienced that, and it's fucking beautiful. Can
It
we
is.
talk about it?
Right,
It's
it is.
beautiful. It is, man. It's like I can't, for the lack of a better word, it is. It's peaceful. No, man, for real, it's amazing, man, and to come home to to something that is peaceful, man. When you're already out and you're at it. Whatever you have to deal with when you leave the house, coming back home to a safe space that you helped build is just like it's a great feeling. And I can't say that I've felt that peace just yet because I'm still building. However, I felt
You
the
see
idea of
glimpses of it.
coming home of me just being like, huh, I'm home and I'm at peace. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of shit that I'm striving to continue to achieve, man. If you are putting your best foot forward and your partners or your partners, because you know that poly shit is a real thing, okay? If you're putting your best foot for your partners again doing that as well, I mean, I think that is the pathway that leads to peace, man. Seriously. And if the best foot forward is not pulling the bad part out of somebody else in your household, then dude, you're closer than you actually know.
Yeah, and it starts with communication. It's annoying us even me sometimes saying it, but it's so true because it's what. But the look on my face, expression is communication, and having a balance of it. Like, hey, when I come home, I expect to do certain things, or I know I'm gonna do certain things. I evaluate the situation and go forward. But some of the little pieces, like, listen, when I come home, I spend a little time I have because we all here, we all work, we get to de-stress, but we get to go to bed. I don't feel like I have weight on my shoulder, that gorilla on my back, or not, that 2-ton weight on my back, saying like I need to complete this
Yeah,
because my day was incomplete.
yeah,
I could go to sleep just like when everyone else goes to sleep early. I can get my rest, so I know when I wake up, I can take care of my daughter. I can go back to sleep, do it again,
hell yeah,
and that's an amazing thing. I
it
don't
is.
look forward. I'm not looking to run towards the weekend because that's the only time I have a break. However, I would say everyone's career is not the same as mine,
Yeah,
or career and a job is two different things. You find your I don't run to the weekend. I'm enjoying every day, but everyone else is like that,
yeah,
or may have different experiences levels.
yeah, man. If you don't got it if you don't got it like that, it's okay. Everybody gotta start from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, man, like if you are not, and I mean, people in careers are having tough and unpeaceful lives, and some people who are just they're working their job and they're having the
The
best
best,
life. Like,
yeah,
so it's all relative, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what you make it. It is what you make it. That is what being a dad is, what you really make it. And it can be very tough for you, or it
right.
can be easy for you. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time to people who ask me, "Yo, how's it going? How is it being a dad?" I tell them all the time, and I say, "Yo, dad, being a dad, I feel like that's the easy part. Being a good partner is the part that's the harder part." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because they
So
all build on each other.
exactly, man, and it's not just it's a team. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So it's sometimes it's tough to be a teammate. So you during those times you're trying to understand what your teammate could do. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy for me to dribble a ball. And if I'm using the analogy of dribbling a ball is taking care of the baby and then passing the baby. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the ball, like I can do that. I can pass. I can shoot. I can dribble. Well, can I depend on my partner to pass the ball back to me when it's time to score, or
Well,
not? Or am I going
or
to do that too? Like
right. Are they going to catch the ball? Are they going to play
yeah,
defense? All these other things, even before the ball is even there.
yeah,
Those are
facts.
team effort. And then it's like, hey, are you going to blame me for something that didn't happen? Or are we going to pick it up to be like, all right, next one,
Facts.
let's keep going.
Exactly.
Let's keep going. All right, well, you
Exactly.
need a break. I see what you're going through right here. All right,
This
let's talk about it.
perfect. At the end of the
Um,
day, we trying to win, and you know what I'm saying. Sometimes we don't win, but you know what I'm saying. If we win more than we lose, God damn it, you know what I'm saying. We doing all right. You know what I mean. And sometimes we make it to the championship, and sometimes we fucking don't. And you know what? It's okay as long as we still teammates, and as long as we taking care of that ball, so,
right.
nigga, we straight.
It's not
Cause
all destination, it's experience and, going through there.
yeah, man. This is like a forever team. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Facts.
signed up for it, and we solidified it once we had a baby. Because now we actually can play.
Yep.
Talk about it. That analogy is crazy. Don't let it go over your head. you know? But yeah, man, I'm really happy that we're doing this. Not still doing it. We're doing this. Okay. I think it's going to be a great resource for dads. I think it's going to be a great resource for us, just to kind of get our ideas together in regards of just going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And I think it has the potential of really being something dope. And I'm glad that we're doing this. I
Yeah.
feel like today was more of a quick reflection on, like, kind of ending it on why we are doing this, and whether or not you've received anything that will be something similar to this for dads. So yeah, man.
All right. That's it
Peace.
for me.
Vibes, baby.
Later.